Hello there everyone, my name is KaSyl, and in today's video we're going to be going over the second thing coming in Season 3. Last video we talked about the sandbox changes and new weapons. Today we're talking about maps and modes, ahead of Season 3's launch, which comes in 2 days. Last video, I know I said it was the last video done on this, but it's really not because I forgot there's so much more to talk about because it's a whole new season. So let's talk about the maps that are coming. The 3 maps coming are Cliffhanger, which is a cold research site set in a frozen mountaintop. There's Chasm, which is a Forerunner structure, which looks insanely cool. And Oasis, which is a gorgeous little bit of greenery surrounded by rocky deserts. And 2 of these are arena maps, to my knowledge, which is Cliffhanger, the mountaintop, and Chasm, which is the Forerunner structure. These are regular arena maps. You can go ahead and play these in your typical 4v4 and such, whereas Oasis is a big team battle map, which is really interesting because this is giving us something we haven't seen before in Halo Infinite's map design, which is asymmetry. Huge criticism that Halo Infinite was receiving early on were that the maps were not asymmetrical. Well, now they are, and they actually even go into detail as to what that means, saying that they enjoy the rock, paper, scissors element to it, where sometimes you're going to go for zone A and C and lose out on B, but the location might end up being a solid base for the enemy team to make a comeback there, and it just adds a whole lot more because they said that they had designed maps for zone control this time as opposed to just simple Slayer, which is really important because we need to have more maps designed not just for ranked Slayer. So having this one set up for Strongholds or King of the Hill means the map is built differently. I think that's really interesting, sacrificing zone B to grab zone A and C. So they said that they were really going really hard on the more asymmetrical side, especially because it was such a big criticism early on. They talk about the scenarios that asymmetry can create in map layout, like in Halo 3's High Ground, where the turret above a door to an enemy base creates a sense of siege. Yeah, they were very interested in talking about that, especially when it comes to the map Cliffhanger, which is the one that they're referencing right now. So this is the one that they're really working to make feel good, which I think is important that we have at least 1 or 2 of these in the game. I would go ahead and say we need a couple more. But yeah, it's just looking at these 3 maps, I'm going to show a couple clips of them. They're really nice, and I'm very excited to have one like Cliffhanger, which is not only asymmetrical, but it's set in the cold, something we don't really have yet, and on a mountaintop, so that's going to give us a whole new view. And I'm probably going to use some of it for my Halo Infinite machinima that I'm working on, because this the machinima is set on an old research facility on a deserted moon. I think it's going to be really cool, and I'm hoping that this aids in the creation of that, because now there actually is a cold themed map with a research base. Even if I don't use it to film on, this is really good inspiration to see what they consider that to look like. Now let's move on to the modes, which are Escalation Slayer is the big one this season. Last season they had the what was it called, the social action sack or whatever it was called. This time it's Escalation Slayer, which basically means as you kill people, you get new abilities. So for example, they say level 1, you have a rocket launcher, cinder shot, or repulsor. Level 2, you get the energy sword, gravity hammer, and grapple shot. It's just, you're switching up every level. So you get a couple kills, you level up. You get some kills, level up. It's very similar in a way to attrition, I believe it was called. And this is really, really neat because if you can make your own presets of these, this can add so much to game mode creation, which is something really big since the custom browser is now out. So being able to make more custom game modes for these custom browsers is really interesting. But yeah, so that's everything in this video. I'm going to try and get 1 more video out before Season 3 releases. If not, I'll see you on launch day. Like this video to share it around, comment down below what you're most excited to see, and as always, thank you.